I'm going to introduce us. Do you want to be in that position while I'm introducing us? I'm just asking. Tabata followed. Oh, you know, when we went to the Palms, we did all 3 classes in a day. We should still be able to do that, right? It's just a different order of events. Okay, I'm going to be official.
No hour break.
No hour break, that's true. Welcome to Nourish, everybody. Stretching and flexibility class. Please make choices that are really good for you today. Every stretch should feel satisfying and good in your body. You should not be going into pain or discomfort with what we're doing today. We're going to start by laying down. And so very briefly before everybody lays down and you can't see what's going on, I will show you what we'll be doing and then we'll lay down, okay? So really a brief overview and then I'll cue you through it again. We're going to be doing some leg lifts. Sometimes with our toe pointed forward, sometimes with our toes pointed towards the ceiling. We're going to be bending the top knee and tapping that knee in front and then tapping the toes behind. And we're looking for a nice big rotation where the heel comes up high and then the knee comes up high. And then finally we're going to be doing a reverse supine twist.
Wait, what about the leg rotation?
That's not on our, okay. And then we're going to be laying with our knees bent like this. And we're coming into a rotation. We're going to take this arm from here all the way around and we're going to get that mid-body twist, putting our shoulders down and leaving legs and hips over here. Okay, so come on down. No more talking, more doing. Let's just lay down on our sides. Cushion your head on your arm. Settle yourself. Hips are nicely stacked, one on top of the other. And let's just start by really loosening up the hips. We often end up very tight and aching from sleeping in certain positions. Bend the top knee. Take the top knee and touch it on the floor in front of you. Then rotate through the hip and touch the toe behind. Let's glide back and forth, nice and low and calm to start with. We'll ask more of this in a minute, but just start to get some fluid in that joint, some glide in that joint as you move through. Your free hand can be just on the mat in front of you, nice stable balance there. Knee forward now. Lift the heel as high as you can. Toe behind, open up and lift the knee. Now pay attention to that detail and get a little more out of the rotation. Softly back and forth. Really good for sciatic issues, or if you just have kind of tight and aching hip joints. One more time. Just pause, straighten out that leg. Keep your toes pointing forward and just lift the blade of the foot, lift that leg any amount straight and lower down. Lift and lower. Feel the engagement on the exterior of the thigh to pull that leg up. Lift, hold, give it an extra little pull and lower with control. Lift, hold, pull and lower. The next time, let's turn the toes towards the ceiling, opening up that hip and lift that way instead. Pull, lower with control. One more time, lift, pull, lower with control. Bend both knees, stacked up nicely here. Keep your head cushioned. You want to support that head. If you have a pillow or a towel at home, you can use that instead. And extend your arm, your top arm, away from you, out long in front of your face. We're going to swing that arm up, follow with the gaze, and bring it all the way around and lay the shoulders down on the mat, leaving the knees behind. Too much for you, watch my modification. Just sit up for a minute. We're just going to lift that top knee and release some of the tension in that one hip if it's too much for you. Okay? So we're just going to be softly looking up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are down. Hip is high. Slow, deep breath. This is a big stretch. Want to give the body time to respond. And don't forget, you're not supposed to be in discomfort. If you are, lift up that knee, take some of the tension out of your hip, and just be where you need to be for today. Swing that arm back around and to the floor in front of your face. Deep breath in, exhale, bring it back, open up. And bring it back to the front. Back to the front. We're going to be on our back doing a series of exercises. They're pretty simple, but if you need to stop and take a look and sit up, I understand that. We're going to come onto our backs with the knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Trying to learn to listen to the cue instead of looking on the screen is a great way to be in the right position in your body here. Feet are about hip distance apart. Spread out the toes. Let's tuck the chin and relax the spine down on the mat. Take your left leg straight up in the air, straight above the hip. I'm just gonna put my hands on my abdomen, keep them out of the way, and we're just gonna do some nice big circles with that leg. Other knee is bent, and we're just coming into a nice big rotation. There's a lot of focus on hips today, especially when we're not weight bearing. It's a great time to work through the hips. And change direction, slow, controlled rotations through. And come to a pause. Bend that knee and put the foot on the floor beside the other one. Other leg up. And start your circles over here. So maybe if you have hip issues, take special note or put a star beside this video on your playlist and know that this one is specially focused on hips. Let's change direction. Big circles. Come to a pause. Let's bend that knee and hug the knees into the chest. Deep breath in, exhale, squeeze. See if you can roll your tailbone up off the mat just a little bit. Tuck the chin, lengthen the back of the neck, and rock side to side. Feel that massage against the low back and the hips. Nice and soft, side to side. And I forget what's next. Okay. Let's straighten out both legs up towards the sky, hands behind the legs, and just draw them towards the face. Nice straight. You might not be completely straight, your legs, but any amount of straightness, and draw them forward and release. Draw them forward and release. A micro bend in the knees can really help if you have a lot of tension in your hamstrings. Just floating into that stretch. We're going to do more with the legs sitting up. Let's flex the toes, point the toes, and flex them towards the shins. And point, still supporting with your hands, and flex. Great drainage of all the fluids below the knee. So good for our body. Bend the knees one more time and give them a hug. Going into, I think this is windshield wipers, yeah, going into windshield wipers. So this means we're putting our feet down on the mat side by side, really close together. Arms out at a T shape, and just lay the knees over to one side. See that hip comes up, but the shoulders are anchored. We're back to that supine twist, aren't we? But we're gonna sway through and come to the other side. Just a reapproach of that stretch, but with glide. It's a dynamic stretch. Back and forth. Lay the knees to one side, lay the knees to the other. One more time. And come to a pause, knees up high. And we're doing finally one more thing before we go to our other side. We haven't forgot about the other side yet. So space your feet apart about hip distance. And we're coming into our bridge float. Let's cue through this. Toes spread wide. Feel the whole sole of your foot pressing into the mat strongly. Arms alongside the body, palms down. Let's just tuck the shoulder blades underneath the back. Just roll from side to side and tuck them underneath and tuck the chin. Press through the feet, lift the hips up, really engage, press through the shoulders and lift and lower back down. Melt and sink back down. Inhale up. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quads. Exhale, soften all those muscles, consciously controlling your muscles and joints. Inhale up. Exhale, lower down. Rolling over to your other side so we can do the side stretches on that side now. Get yourself situated. We change ends of our mat so we can still be facing the camera and be helpful to you. Want that nice stack of steps. Stack of hips. One over the other. And by that I mean we don't want that hip coming forward, or way behind, because it changes what we're doing with the joint. So do a check. Just grab a hold so you know. Then hand on the mat in front of you and bend the top knee. Tap the knee in front, tap the toe behind. Remember, we start just low and simple. Sometimes our joints get a little bit crunchy. They don't have great amount of circulation and fluids in them, so we have to get them moving, and then we can ask some more. Just get them moving. Start to free that up. Nice and slow. Toe behind, knee in front. Knee in front and pause. Let's lift that heel a little bit more. Toe behind, pause, open up through the knee and hip. Now pay attention to that detail. Lift the heel, lift the knee. Greater engagement and range of motion in the hip as we go through that. One more. And pause. Take the leg and stack it on top of the other one, nice and long. Hand on the mat in front of your face so you're nice and stable, and just lift the blade of the foot towards the ceiling and lower down. Lift and lower. Next time you lift up, pause there. Lift, pause, pull, and lower with control. Lift, pull, lower with control. One more time. Now we're changing it up by just turning the toes towards the ceiling, opening up through the hip, and pointing our toes towards the ceiling. Pull, lower, lift, pull. My foot wants to cramp, and lower. Last one. There we go. Bend both knees, stacked up legs. We're headed for our reverse supine twist here. Extend your top arm straight out from the face onto the floor. And we're going to turn and open up. Try to lay the shoulders down. I ran out of swing space here. There we go. Shoulders down, hips are twisted. And don't forget your modification is to lift your top knee a little bit. Not any more than you need to be comfortable though. Shoulders wide, anchored to the floor, gaze at the ceiling. Slow, deep breathing. Enjoy the amazing things that you can do with your body that make you feel better after 50 minutes. Bring that back around. Hand in front of the face on the floor. Deep breath in. Exhale, swing and open. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring that back to the front. I'm saying back to the front today. And gradually find your way up to seated.
No.
No?
No.
What did I forget?
Naps.
Oh, sleeping. I forgot sleeping. Please make sure you have your stretching strap, your non-stretchable stretching strap near at hand. We're going to be doing a leg sequence. If you don't own one, you can make do with something else that isn't stretchy like a stretchy band, or just do it without the straps. It's fine. It will still be really good. Okay, we're coming up to seated here, nice and tall. Knees are bent. Can I hand this to you and you can cue through rowing?
Sure.
Okay, Kevin's going to cue us through rowing. He has a really good set of cues that we don't usually get to enjoy.
All right, so we're going to lift our shoulders toward the ceiling, lift our head toward the ceiling. That doesn't mean lift here. That means just sit up very straight, shoulders up, head up. We're going to inhale as we lift, and then exhale, reach out past our feet. Inhale, up, lift. Exhale, fold at your hips and reach. Inhale, elbows back, shoulders up. Exhale and reach. Inhale, up, get nice and tall. Drag your head across the ceiling and reach your shoulders for the far wall. Up, shoulders, elbows, reach. Inhale, up, nice and tall. Drag your head across the ceiling, reach shoulders toward the far wall. Inhale up, exhale out. Inhale up, exhale, reach. Last one. Okay, that was the last one.
One more. I wanted you to know. Thank you very much. Sometimes I need time to get my brain together. Since we've done a whole bunch of kind of forward fold motions here, let's just go ahead and stay with that with our knees bent. And we're on our seat bones, sitting nice and tall. Okay, we're just going to inhale, reach for the sky, and exhale, just lay ourselves down upon the thighs. Walk your feet back until you support your upper body. This is a very soft forward fold. Tuck the chin. Roll the shoulders away from the spine. Take some breaths. Do a scan of your body for where there is tension. Is there tension in the back of the legs? Then probably you need to bend your knees a little more. Do you have tension in the top line of your shoulders and up into your neck? Let's roll those shoulders, almost wrap them around the knees, and make sure you lengthen the back of your neck. Come on up. And we're going to engage a little more intensely in that. Step the heels out about an inch. And this time, instead of curling up like that, all soft, we're going to close the angle. So we're going to stay broad through the shoulders, reach up, and come forward, nice flat back, any amount into your forward fold. Keep your head in alignment with your spine. Come on up. Walk the heels out a little more. Inhale, tall. Exhale, broad shoulders, and fold up at the hips. Not at the rib cage, not in the neck, the hips. And finally, straighten your legs if you can. You can always add that little bend to the knees. Inhale, tall. We're going to hold this one. Come forward. So we want to be broad through the shoulders, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and just close up that angle. Here we are in a static stretch. You can already feel the intensity of the hold, can't you? So we want a couple of options here where we're not in discomfort. A couple of options would be bring your shoulders back an inch. Give yourself some relief and hold there. Or bend the knees just a little and give the back of the legs a little bit of relief. Slow, deep breathing wherever you are in your forward fold. If you want more and you're really comfortable, you put your hands behind the calves, draw the shoulders down. Come on up. Let's just shake out those legs a little bit. That's a lot, isn't it? And let's get a hold of our straps and get ready for another hip sequence. How about that today?
Exciting.
Yeah, there's a focus. I'm gonna try this more often. I'm gonna have a neck and shoulders focus and things like that. So we're gonna take a strap, put it around the sole of our right foot, okay? And reach forward to anchor with your straps. I talk about this a lot because I see it a lot. Many people will just grab their straps back here, but that means when we're lifting our legs, do you see what I'm doing with my shoulders? It's awful, it's horrible. So just let go, reach forward, and you have much more ease in your shoulders there. Lift the leg any amount and lower back down. Elbows are wide, and that's important. If I tuck my elbows in, I'm pulling into my hip socket and I'm compressing into that joint. If I spread the elbows out, I'm just lifting the leg. So much better. Just lift, nudge into the tension, let it go. Nothing static holding right now, we're just moving the joint. One more time. Put it down. So I'm on my right foot, both straps in right hand. I'm just gonna put my hand to the other hand to the inside of the knee here, and we're just opening nice and low to the side. And then bringing it back. Hand is helping leg. Yes, you could just move your leg, but we're using the hand to assist that opening in the thigh. And bring it back. Just almost skimming the ground, no hardship there. Back and forth. Up to you for the next part. You could reach forward, shorten up your strap even more, and slow it down and lift and open. Get into that part of your hip. Much more challenging. So you can stay low if you want to. Lift and open. Bring it back. And finally, we're going to go to the other hand with the strap. Reach forward, take hold of the strap. Let's just float into that forward fold again. Float forward and come up broad through the shoulders. Float forward and come up. Anchor with the hand, and we're going to turn, pivot, open up to the side, tall, and float forward over the leg. Inhale, tall. Exhale, float. Gonna repeat this all one time. Press through that supporting hand, bring the leg to the front. Come up and come forward. Come up and come forward. Anchor, pivot, tall and forward. When you're here and you're forward this time, let's just hold. Let's hold in this stretch for just 20 seconds. Think of this. Squeeze the shoulder blades, broaden through the shoulder and through the sternum and chest. Just open up through that area. Don't curl it up. Look at your foot. Breathe slow and deep. And holding. Press through the hand. Bring it to the front. Come up. Bring it forward. Just close that angle. Get that feeling of really engaged, very nice and straight in the back and forward. The hand encouraging. Look where you are in your forward fold. Let's reapproach that, but back where we started. Strap in each hand, nice and wide. I mean wide with the elbows. Lift up. Holding this as a static stretch now. So much more flexibility in that joint. Okay, this is not all up in my shoulders and my ears. Get those shoulders down. Just lift the foot. Nice support in the strap. You couldn't do this without a strap. Take a breath here. holding the stretch, and we're going to follow the leg down to the mat. Lowering the leg, shoulders track, and you are deep in a forward fold. Look where you are compared to where you were just a few seconds ago. And come on up, changing sides. It's a long sequence, but it makes such a difference in our hips. Going to the other side, strap in each hand. Kevin's just having a little snoozy.
Stretching my back.
Oh, you're stretching out your back and just extending in the shoulders. Lift up and lower. Take note of what this hip feels like compared to the other one. You start to recognize if you're starting to have an issue that needs a little bit of a dressing, not a dressing like salad or turkey, but a dressing.
Not like ranch.
Not like ranch.
Vinaigrette.
It doesn't need a dressing. Lift and lower. We're goofy. And lower. Both straps in your left hand. This is the nice low open to the side. Some people put their hand down and use that to hold themselves in place. So we want to stay gazing forward, leg to the side. I just usually put my hand inside that other knee and then bring it back. Nice and low, open to the side. Looking for progress. Feeling that extra ease in our hips as we're getting in and out of cars and things like that, because we do the hard work to make that possible. Now, slowing down, I'm going to do this extra lift if you can. So I shorten up my strap a bit, slow it down, lift up into that top part of the hip socket and take it out. Bringing it back is the hardest part, I know.
Foot grab.
You got a foot cramp?
Ow, 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 ow. Leave it alone.
I don't know if I'm helping or not, but it felt like it was a good thing to do. Okay, both straps into, yes, your right hand. I got confused for a minute there. Okay, we're gonna just come into that forward fold. So watch, bring the shoulders back, come up tall, bring it forward. Use the strap to encourage yourself forward. Come up, let's just float it out, forward. Anchor behind or beside you, and we turn. Nice and tall, float. 2 times. Nice and tall, press through that hand, bring the foot back to the front. Inhale up and float. And again. One more pivot, and we're going to hold the forward fold on this. So put it out there, broaden through the shoulders, close up the angle, and stretch. Breathe through. Big stretch here. Don't hold your breath. And don't put your ego into this so that you're really uncomfortable. You're doing this for yourself, not for a performance. Be where you need to be in the stretch without causing harm. Lift up the shoulders, press through the hand, and come back to the front again. Broaden the shoulders. One final forward fold this way. And just holding for a moment, looking how close you are to the legs, to the floor. Head is in alignment with the spine, not tucked in chin, just nice and straight. Holding that stretch. And we're going to reapproach it. Come on up. Strap in each hand. Lift the foot back where we started, elbows wide. Holding this big stretch here. You can always just put that little bend in your knee. It's a lot of relief if you do it, and you need it. But holding, get the shoulders out of the ears, drop them down. Feel the power as soon as you take them out of your ears. Following the leg down to the mat. Deep in a forward fold. Look what you've done. It's amazing. Come on up. And let's put that strap aside today. Coming into a cross-legged pose here. The cross-legged pose will look like what I'm doing, not Kevin, but that's all right. He gets there. It doesn't matter which shin is in front for this, but what we want you to do is be on your seat bones enough that you can come any amount, maybe it's just small, but any amount forward in this. Just check that out. Make sure you're not in your sacrum. Or you could come that far forward. I'm always a little bit envious of this ability someday when I grow up. Hands on the mat in front. Maybe you can go sideways on this, Kevin. Okay, hands on the mat in front of you. Or if you can't quite reach, you can get a proper yoga block. This is not one. And just prop yourself up a little higher. That's all right too. Okay. And we're just going to elbows wide, just kind of bulldog crouch. Down, tuck the chin. Deep in the hips. Then straighten up and lift the gaze. Shoulders roll forward as we extend through the arms. Lower it down. Press through and lift and look. One more time, lower it down. Press and look. I understand you probably need to look at your screen to start with, but in the end, your gaze will be on your hand. Let's say your right hand is on the mat. Look at that hand and reach back with your left on a high diagonal. Okay, once you've seen this, let's do it. Look down at the hand, reach back with the other one on a high diagonal. What a neck stretch we have going on here. Look back and see if you can catch a glimpse of your thumb back behind. Another neck stretch. Look down at the mat in front. Tuck your nose towards your shoulder. Look back. Swing hand and gaze back down. Tuck and fold forward, elbows wide. Press through, extend through the shoulders. And let's release that. Rock back, change which shin is in front. Just a little bit different in the hips. I used to not be able to cross my legs at all this direction because of my fused ankle, but I'm learning. We're all making progress on different things and we don't recognize what people are struggling with sometimes. Hands in front, elbows wide. Come on forward. Then lift the gaze, extend through the shoulders, big stretch. This is a shoulder and neck stretch, and then this is a hip stretch. One more time, lifting up. Epic music. And tuck it down. And this time when we lift up, we're leaving the left hand on the mat. Look at the left hand, reach back with your right. Big extension there. Don't hold your breath. Now look back and try to look at that thumb. Look down, tuck the nose. Very epic. Look back. Big breath in and then sweep gaze and hand down, fold it down. Press through, lift up. Let's bring those knees together and extend the legs long. A little bit of a flex and a point. And I think we're coming up to standing here. We're going to come up to standing, gradually find your way to standing on the mat.
You said you wanted to add some neck and shoulders.
I do. I think I'll do it when I'm standing up. Thank you for the reminder. So gradually find your way to standing on the mat. I love the pace of that when we start laying down and just start with that. It's so nice. Feet nice and parallel. Find the balance in your body. And part of that is hips over heels. Roll back the shoulders. Lightly turn the palms towards the front. Bring the head back in alignment with the spine. Little sway side to side until you realize that your weight is evenly on both foots. Fetals, both fetals. Inhale, reach up. Big breath in. Exhale, lower the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, lower. coming into a side bend. This one has a wrist grab in it. We're going to inhale, reach up.
Let's go right on both footses.
Grab a hold of your right wrist and just draw yourself over to the left. Don't get too intense with this. Press through the left foot, bring your low body into balance. Inhale up. We tend to try to hold our breath because we're squeezing into the rib cage when we do this side bend. Be really aware of the breathing. Elbow comes forward, look on the floor beside you. Wrap that twist and bend all the way around the rib cage. Deep breath in, sweep the elbow up and gaze up wide through the chest and let the arms go. Big rotation, big rotation. Sweeping, we've done so much with our hips, it's time for our shoulders. Inhale, reach up, grab a hold of your left wrist and slowly sink into that side bend. Don't take it too far, you'll end up with sore ribs. You have to really judge this one for yourself. Inhale tall, because it seems like nothing, and then gravity just gets a little too much stretch in the rib cage, and you end up sore between the ribs. Elbow comes forward, look at the floor. Sweep the elbow back, look at the ceiling, open up through the chest, and let that go. Let's windmill the arms forward this time, and forward. Forward. One more time. And then we're going to go into some apple picking. So we're just reaching up, getting that nice extension, pull it down. Reach and extend and pull. You don't have to look. Just going through that nice loose dynamic stretch side to side. Feeling the softening in our body as we start to get used to this motion. Like getting a little bit flexy in the knees and the feet and the hips as we reach through. Can you give that apple a little twist? Get into your wrist a little bit, a little twist. Why not add wrist? A wrist twist.
Boy, that's convenient.
It's convenient.
Yeah, do I like that.
Pardon?
Are we done?
No, we're done with the apple picking. There we go. Okay, feet are still underneath the hips here. Do a check on that and then bring yourself up into a good posture. Shoulder under chin. Just keep gazing forward. Just bring that shoulder around. Shoulder under chin. This is a neck stretch. Isn't it strange how sometimes they are actually, seems like it's about something else? And let's bring that through. Now we take the neck stretch out of it and we just come through a nice soft swing. This is mid-back. Nice loose swing through, back and forth. And come to a pause. And I'm handing the mic back to Kevin so he can go through feet, because we haven't done that in quite a while.
Hi.
Hi. He's the foot expert.
So good with feet. Lord of the feet, that's what my friends used to call me.
That
What?
is not a great lordship. Choose something else.
So with elbows near ribs, gonna spread our fingers wide, gonna spread our toes nice and wide. Press your toes down into the mat individually. You can wiggle your fingers along with that and get a nice finger stretch at the same time. So you're just pressing those fingers down, toes down.
Your feet fingers.
Your feet fingers, all your phalanges of various points. All right, now we're going to crumple all that up, make a foot fist, crush your toes together, arch your foot, make an ugly face, then spread your fingers wide, spread your toes wide. Again, press them down into the mat, then crunch them all up, curl your toes up tight, arch your foot, spread them nice and wide again.
When's the ugly face happen? On the crunch?
On the crunch, you
Okay.
bet. That's when you
I
make
think I
the
had it
ugly
wrong.
face. Do we need to do it one more time?
No, it's fine.
Okay. And then we're going to raise up on the balls of our feet and back down. Finding a focal point somewhere on the wall in front of you helps with this. And back down, lifting up and back down. Now we're going to lift and stay there. and then we're going to pulse without letting our heels touch. So just up and down, just a handful of times without falling over, and then put those heels down. Now shift your weight onto one foot, pull those toes back toward your shin, pull nice and hard, tighten up that thigh, tighten up your glutes, really tighten up that whole leg as you pull that up. Now shift to the other side and pull again. Again, trying to tighten most of that leg, get all those muscles nice and engaged. Shift to the other side, pull hard. Shift to the other side, pull nice and hard. And we can walk that out a little bit. Is there any other piece you wanted me to do?
That's great, thank you.
Okay.
Let's go to our shoulders again. Okay, we're just going to take arm, sweep it up across mid-chest, and come into that nice shoulder stretch. So rolling the shoulder cap forward a little bit, nice stretch in the top of the neck. Don't get it up here, that changes everything. Let's have it mid-chest. You can do a couple of things here. You can support it if you have a shoulder injury, bend that elbow and just give it a support. You can just hold it in normal position, or you can challenge the stretch by coming out to here. Make your choice that's right for you and your body. Slow, deep breath. Just nod the head a little bit. And slowly unwind from that. Other arm comes across upper chest. Start with a basic stretch. I'm trying to not mess up my mic. Decide what else you want out of this, less or more. Make those decisions. Just wobble a little bit, one ear to one shoulder, then the other. See if you've got tension in your neck. Airplanes really mess up my neck. The seats are just not got the right shape. Let that go, loosen it up there. A little bit of a roll. And we're just take our fists and press them together about mid-body here. Elbows nice and wide, press together. Don't hold your breath. And now pivoting on the elbows, open wide. Squeeze the shoulders together. Bring it back around, press the fists together. One more pivot. And back. And if you can, try to do the reverse of this, where you take the hands behind, press them together behind. Okay, if you can't reach, just come back here and just flex into that space. Depending on your body shape, whether or not you can do that, broaden through the chest. Bring the head back in alignment with the spine, and then soften and release. Just shake that out. A little bit of a roll in the shoulders. Inhale into a giant Y shape with the arms. Exhale, squeeze the elbows to side body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Out to a T shape, nice and wide. And then bring the elbows down. Try to keep those forearms level with the floor. T shape. And back. Let that go. Let me check my timing so I know what else I can add for you guys. I have 5 minutes. It's awesome. Okay, just standing nice and tall here. We're just going to draw the fingertips down, the shoulders away from the ears. Get a nice top line stretch. And relax. You should feel that ear to top line of the shoulder. To pull it down. And relax. Draw the elbows back. And strike down. Elbows back. And down. Let that go. Soften everything. And let's just lower right ear to the shoulder. Kind of just anchor the other hand on the thigh there. And just lower the ear. Don't be leaning too much. Decide if you want to add the weight of the hand to the neck stretch. Nice and gentle, not pulling. Just lay the hand on the head, that's enough. Whatever weight there is in the arm is all you need. Deep breathing. We're going to tuck the nose towards the shoulder and just clasp the back of the head. Put a little traction into that, pulling away from the shoulders if you want, but tucking the nose. Slowly, gently release the tension. We don't want to just crash all those vertebrae back together again by being too fast. Look as far as you can to the right. And slowly sweep through, look to the left. One more time, nice and slow. And to the left. Come to neutral head. Lower the ear to the other shoulder. You decide. Do you want to add a little more to this, or have you got a lot of tension? Depending on your dominant side, it might be way more difficult on one side than the other. Tuck the nose to the shoulder, clasp the base of the skull, and add a little bit of traction. Gently release, slowly release, back to neutral. And put your head on straight. Tuck the nose, look down. Pull the shoulders away from the ears as you look down. Soften the shoulders, lift the chin, and look up on a high diagonal, lengthening the front of the throat. Sometimes we cough a little bit when we do this. It's just a constricted airway, and you might need water. You might need some water. And relax. And let's just finish off the class today with just paying attention to the hips. We've done a lot with the hips today. So step the feet to the edges of the mat and just come into a nice rotation through the hips. So we pop the hips to one side, then we pop the booty out. Shoulders come forward, other side, soften the knees, hips come forward, shoulders come back. That's the details. Swing through and do your hula hoops. Just loosening up all the things we've been working on today. Other direction. Bring it around. Come to a pause. Step the feet apart, just enough that you're going to be in a side lunge. So make a good choice for you, how wide this is for you. The wider, the more challenging. And don't hesitate to adjust if it turns out it's not right for you. Let's just bring that, feet are nice and parallel. Let's bring that one knee forward and stretch into that extended leg, holding. This is a very light hold of posture. Holding and breathing through that stretch. Press into that heel. Bring yourself up, sink down to the other side. Give it a good hold. Be in that stretch. Now we're going to float this, and you can float it up elevated like this or down to the floor. Your choice. But we're floating back and forth, nice and loose. Back and forth. Straighten out the legs, bring up the shoulders. Look at us in a wide-legged stance here. Bring the toes in, heels in. Till you're back to the center of the mat. Finishing off the class today with a forward fold. Feet nice and parallel. Inhale tall. Exhale, swan dive down. Bend your knees and come into your forward fold. Perhaps to the floor, perhaps to your thighs, but knees are bent. Let's draw the hands up the shins, straighten out the legs, flat back, halfway lift. Bend the knees, come down to the floor. Bend deeply into your right knee and take your left hand up. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring that down. Bend into the other knee and take the right hand up. Big breath in. Exhale, bring it down. Slowly, slowly roll up to standing. And that's the end of our class. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope your hips feel amazing after this. And if you wake up and you've got yourself you've slept in the wrong position, or you've been sitting a lot, remember this sequence and this Nourish and come back to it to take care of that. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Run, 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 run.